Welcome everybody to the Round Table. This is Chris Sheldon, aka Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the Resistance. Joining me is good old Reverend Ordo, and of course, our fictitious product, Myth Monster Blue. Because why? We are not funded by any major corporations or anybody trying to tell us what to do. We are of the people, by the people, for the people. So if you are enjoying these podcasts, please share the live feed. Follow us on our various social medias: X, YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. All at where? Real TWDRN. And as always, check out our online store. Tons of great merch there. And last but not least, feel free to join in on the conversation. This is the one and only. This is probably one of the only podcasts, if not the only podcast, where you, the audience, get to join in the conversation. Because again, it is by you, of you, for you. So
exactly.
That being said, we had an interesting conversation earlier today regarding conspiracy and talking about openly discussing a violent revolution. But if you want to get into that whole thing, go back and watch that video. But the purpose for me mentioning this is because it brings up a very, very serious question. And that is, what, Reverend?
Is a violent revolution inevitable?
Yeah.
Again, I mentioned earlier a couple of organizations, the Weather Underground and the Sudanese Liberation Army from back in the 70s, because the 70s at the time were very insane.
Yeah.
Very, very radical. I mean, completely radicalized by an ideology, just like, Antifa and BLM,
Yes.
Radicalized by ideologies and shit like that. I mean, it's a repeat of the 1970s, again, the Weather Underground and the Sudanese Liberation Army.
Yes.
And look them up, check out the history and the stuff they did and why they did it, and the crimes they committed, through that,
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, is it inevitable? I cannot say yes or no, because
well, I think maybe a bigger question to ask is, everybody's already talking about things like this. I'm just going to go ahead and show some screenshots. Like, look at this. Everybody's already talking about this. If nothing happens over this Epstien stuff, you may as well give up on politics. There's no such thing as left and right. There is no such thing as sovereign nation. There is just ultra wealthy people exploiting the poor to the point where they can get you little girls to do whatever they want to them on an island, and all the evidence of it can exist. And instead of there being any repercussions at all, if nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, there is no mass raids, no mass arrests, no mass public trials. You may as well just give up on politics, may as well give up. The system is so rotten, it's never going to be fixed.
Exactly, man.
Now, there's a lot to unpack there. Joe Rogan has spoken out about it. I was trying to find that video where he was asking the same question we're asking. What would be the catalyst Are we on the cusp of a violent revolution? And if so, right now, a lot of people are just talking. Talk, which there's nothing wrong with talking about it. But where's the line where it goes from talking to action? What would be the straw that breaks the camel's back that just drives people to say, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to overthrow the government. What would be the catalyst? I mean, at this point, you have 3 million plus documents. And Trump's just sitting on it. He's doing nothing with it. He's sitting there beating his little beanie weenie to Pam Bondi. And nothing's being done about it. Pam Bondi gets called in front of Congress, makes a complete ass out of herself. And the MAGA apologists are sitting there hailing her as some sort of hero that fucking ousted the Democratic Party because the DOJ was monitoring who was searching what. As if that makes any relevance to the fact that, hey, you're not doing anything with it. You have all the information you need.
Yeah.
You have everything you need to crucify these people, and you do nothing. And the people are pissed.
It's all there. And the one thing the people are tired of, they're tired of hearing about it, but yet you have both sides. They have influencers that are constantly verbally fueling the fire.
Yeah.
And not really understanding that you have the left and right each have influencers that are pushing political bullshit, try to get us all mentally fucked up in the head,
Yeah.
It's more of like a verbal book burning.
It is. And it's just coming right out in the open and not even trying to hide it.
No. It's more of how much can they push? How much can they really there's been talk about again, for decades, there's been talk about revolution this, revolution that. I'm like, when was the last time we had a revolution?
1776.
Exactly. Over nearly 250 years ago. And there hasn't been a serious one since.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a start of a revolution, how would it pan out? How would it start? And how long would it take?
Yeah.
And
those are all great questions, and we need to ask those in this podcast. So we'll take as long as we need to take. But at the forefront of this, what's it going to take to get the dang thing? What would it take to actually get a revolution started, if not this? I mean, Andrew Tate says it pretty well here. Like him or hate him, he makes a valid point. Check this out.
Because everyone seems to think that they're afraid of us knowing what they're going to do. That ended with Epstein. They used to operate in the shadows. They used to sit and say, well, let's go to do this. Let's do something nefarious. And then let's use the media machine to lie and convince everybody at home that we didn't do it. Epstein was the point where they were like, we have no choice but just to pull the trigger. Epstein was a perfect example. He has to die. But he's in maximum security prison. Doesn't matter, he has to die. But they're going to know we killed him. Doesn't matter, he has to die. That was it. They signed off on stage 3. The cameras were turned off. He's in the prison cell, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knew they did it. And what did we do? Nothing. Make memes. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, memes. Oh, Epstein didn't kill himself. And they sat there and thought, oh, okay, cool. So they know. They now know we know, and nothing happens. They don't give a fuck anymore. And they're not trying to hide it anymore. Because everyone seems to think that they're...
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like him or hate him, he's absolutely right. And I mean, Jones is flipping his fucking shit. I don't know. Did I show you where Jones flipped out?
No.
Dude, you're gonna fucking love this. And I can relate to this. I can, honest to God, relate to this. Jones flipped his fucking shit on this.
It doesn't matter, Trump, because they've made this the litmus test, and now they're setting it up, and it's working. So I told you don't panic 9 years ago. Roger, you need to panic. Go ahead.
Alex, you got to quit mincing words and tell people what you really think.
I'm about to have a fucking heart attack. We need to save the country. I know Trump's good. We need to succeed. What do I got to fucking do to get him to stop this shit? Well, this is bullshit. It doesn't matter, Trump.
Yeah, I mean, dude's flipped his fucking shit on it. He wasn't mincing words. He's like, I'm about to have a fucking heart attack. I'm so fucking pissed. He's like, oh, yeah, you have everything you need to do. Just pull the fucking trigger. Your gun's loaded. It's aimed right at their head. Pull the fucking trigger. Stop talking about it and fucking be about it.
You have a guy in the White House, okay, in the White House, billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Never served the military, never worked in government except for 2 terms as president. Never came up with the law to help people. He's pretty much self-serving himself and his billionaire oil baron buddies, okay?
He is. And Zero, would you like to join in on the roundtable? Revan, will you share the link with him so that you can join the roundtable?
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Because his would be an interesting point to have on here, I think. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, even the MAGA movement turned on his ass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even MAGA, everybody at this point, if they're legitimate Americans, especially those who voted for him, are fucking pissed. Like, every time he does something stupid, like, or goes against something he said he was going to do, this is where people are. People are getting fucking pissed, especially those who vote for him. And every time Trump screws up, the American people go, "Why must you fail me so often?" I mean, am I wrong? I mean, that's the consensus of every American, especially those who voted for him.
Let's be honest about this. This isn't exactly Trump's fault either. I noticed that your display in the comments isn't letting one of my comments be displayed, so I'll read it out real quick. There are too many pacified humans across this planet doing exactly what those in power want them to do: require and spend currency. None of us can disagree with that fact, just like none of us can stop.
No argument from the peanut gallery, sir. Good observation.
But that's what I was trying to put down earlier about we'll never get a starship to travel a grand amount of distance whenever everybody wants their cut, because it'll remain in pieces because everybody wants a piece of the pie. So the starship itself will remain in pieces because everybody wants to get paid for building it, for running it, for being on it, for being a crew member, etc.
That actually was on the last roundtable. I did see that. But you're absolutely right in bringing that up.
I could definitely partially blame Trump too. Again.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's slow rolling Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche are just sitting there with their thumbs up their butt, twirling around, going da 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 da.
And I'm kind of halfway.
Or maybe they're just sitting there with one of these up their ass.
I'm halfway agreeing with y'all. It is those in power's fault. Yet it is those proletarians, which we are part of that. It's our literal fault for allowing them to remain in control. I just seen all the comments come to remain in control.
Yeah, they just
because we
are having quite a few technical difficulties. So, any further problems to the audience, please bear with us. It's been an off day, technically speaking. I don't know what's going on, but there's been quite
it
a
is
few
what it is, man.
issues.
I mean, the thing is, the blame could go all around.
It can.
But we all know, again, I mentioned this earlier, even if we try to do something, okay, again, as long as our world leaders are buddies with Israel.
Gotta say it, right? Gotta say it.
Jew.
Again,
At least it wasn't me.
I mean,
At
the
least.
thing is, as long as our world leaders here, in DC, are good buddies with Netanyahu, with Netanyahu,
BB shitting you who?
yeah, there too.
He's like, yeah, that guy.
It will never happen as long as they're watching us, because, well, we're good buddies with Netanyahu. Well,
So long as our politicians have one of these up their ass.
oh yeah.
And that's what I'm putting on the
plug
table.
shirts can be found at our online store.
We, as the everyman, as the no man, are sitting here and continuously allowing them to have power, just like this currency. The only reason why this currency, all this paper and all this cloth and plastic have any value is because we're told that it has value. We expect it to have value. We have trust that it has value. This is why it has value. Just like they are in power and remain in power because we keep on giving them this power.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, if this isn't going to set it off, what in your opinion would set it off? Zero, you have kind of a complicated history. I'm not going into details. But as the average American and somebody with a little bit of kick to their step like yourself, what would you say would be the defining factor? What would be the straw that breaks the camel's back, that shakes people out of apathy to the point where enough is enough, talk is over, it's time to put boots to asses?
Well, we've seen what happened during the pandemic. Everybody just curled into a ball and accepted what was going to happen. So I don't even think a mass culling or an actual biochemical engineered weapon released upon the masses will cause anything. I don't think anything will cause anything, because everybody, we are ruled by those who are droned around us. We are forced to do what the other 10 million people are doing that are around us. That is the legitimate issue here. And unless those other, quote, 10 million people around us decide to do something about this, nothing is going to occur, because honestly, even the 2,000-3,000 that are pocketed across the planet isn't enough for the mindless drones that are just going to follow the pecking order.
That's a fair point. People are too afraid to lose their comforts. They're and they've become too complacent from the fluoride and the toxins in our food to actually stand up and do anything.
And I didn't even bring up the fact that they are poisoning us. That's just the reason why I brought up the fact that they attempted to kill us right in front of our face, and nobody wants to realize it.
Yeah.
So they're slowly poisoning us so that we can remain docile. Yes. Pacified. Yes.
Yeah. And so many people still believe that COVID was a legitimate phenomenon that happened, and that the vaccine actually worked, and the only reason it had any problems was because it mutated. Nothing. There was no mutations.
They're eating their favorite flavor of alphabet soup.
Yeah, I mean, take the red pill, the blue pill, jump the blue dick or the red dick up your ass. It's still a dick in your ass.
I took the vaccine. I admit that. And,
yeah.
and the reason I did, I became my own guinea pig, because I wanted to prove something. I want to see it for myself.
Yeah.
So I took two shots a month apart, vaccine, and it was a Moderna shot, which both that and Pfizer should have tested it first. Those
Yeah.
assholes, you know.
I mean, there was a lot of problems with that vaccine. It was the virus and the vaccine we know were already pre-made,
But we
ready to
also
go.
know- sorry.
They rushed it out. Operation Fast. What was it? Operation Fast and Furious? No, that was something else. But
Cheesy nuts.
they
But
they
we
they
also
quit rushing
know
it out, and
we also know that many sets of the vaccine was basically saline, so there's a chance that you got a dud. There's also the fact that it wasn't the Blovit itself that was genetically tracked, that was genetically marked. Like in your genetics, it traces those genetics and activates because of G's genetics. From what my understanding is, it was actually the vaccine that did that was genetically enhanced. Like if you had these genetics, it'll turn right on and activate. But if you didn't have these genetics, it was just the equivalent of saline.
you had the saline, and many people are arguing that there was nanotech in the vaccine, and it's also been proven definitively that there's HIV spike proteins in the vaccine.
I also got my card from when I took the shots.
I never got the shot. I never took the shot.
I mean, we can go back to the original point. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. We can go back to the original point where we go to the court case where I can't remember the name of it, but it was something to patent biological plants, a biological living organism, to patent an organism. And the only way you can patent an organism is to change what it's made out of and cause it to produce something it not normally produce in nature. And from our understanding,
modification.
Pretty much from our understandings, the vaccine literally changed your DNA to cDNA and your RNA to mRNA and caused your body to create the spike protein, which it not normally do, therefore fulfilling the requirements to patent the organism known as human.
There you go. That's interesting. That is an interesting point you made, and I'm actually glad you brought it up because that's something that not a lot of people are talking about.
You know me, man. I look at this from 10,000 feet and put 3-5 puzzles together at the same time and say, hey, look, these puzzles match.
It's what we're notorious for is addressing aspects of things that aren't generally talked about. We're the ones going into couch cushions and going, okay, what was missed? What part of Joe Rogan's or Alex Jones's or Andrew Tate's or Candace Owens, what parts of what they're covering aren't they covering? We're picking up the missing pieces. We're going even deeper, going, well, what about this angle? What about that angle? What about this thing that has never even been talked about? So, Zero, I thank you very much for bringing up that point.
It's close to knowing that we're getting close to transhumanism, man, you know.
Correct. That's like legitimately the first few steps. You have to patent what you're playing around with, so to speak, and then you can progress from there. So once they have X amount of patented humans, guess what? It's like what we talked about before. You're owned by the company that your vaccine has been created from, because now you have company property inside of your body. Therefore, your body is now considered company property.
Yep. Yeah. Read something before signing it, people. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. Again, you know, I'm going to get back to this one here. If there was ever an attempt, and I'm going to turn it to 18.
Uh-oh.
The volume 18 here, you know. Way up there, man. Yeah, right there. Yeah, you know. I've been thinking about this for the last 6 months, man. For the last 6 months. You know, like, if there was ever a start of something, Okay, I mean, we all know we got militias. Okay, militias.
Yes.
The Minutemen in the border of Arizona, New Mexico, and Mexico. Biding their time until, I mean, every state has a militia, and they're biding their time until when a revolution happens or a civil war. Again, how will it pan out? Where will the direction be, and who and what side will be the ones butting heads and throwing lead at each other?
Well, the United
Why do
States.
you think I continuously bring up currency? Because that is what's failing in this this existence of what is going on now, and pointing towards the Spock quote from Star Trek continues. No revolution can succeed using the same methods which failed in the previous one. That's why I state currency is literally the issue. If we'd abolish currency, we'd have to figure out some other way to commerce, more or less. And that would eliminate a lot of things from our perspective, because we don't need this cloth or plastic to exist and to even survive, so to speak, because you need cloth and plastic just to live in a building.
Yeah, so this begs the question, if a violent revolution happens, there's no doubt that the American people are going to win. The United States government for many, many years has run numerous simulations, played out every possible scenario they possibly could, and in every single scenario, the United States government lost to its people. And the globalists are already out in the open admitting publicly that their new world order agenda is gone. Their whole plan, the old game is done. It's gone. It's over. They lost. Even Hillary Clinton is admitting this.
Truthfully, honestly, they should have thought about hard. I mean, if you go back and look up the Battle of Athens, 1946. These three peace and war assholes should understand. Look, we're. I mean, you may throw your money around. Look, and I'm gonna say this. Okay, I don't care who gets mad. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Again, you can try whatever plan you want to say whatever. Again, there will always going to be an uprising against the oppressed, against the tyranny, no matter what. Okay, I mean, it could be a covert civil war. No matter what, the people will still win. Okay, again, I'm going to say it again. We have highly tech-savvy people in this world who has a heart and moral compass and ain't blind.
Yeah. So it would inevitably happen. You know, what would be the point of pushing somebody too far is definitely a question that we are not really able to answer. It'll probably be one of those situations that we won't know what it is. We won't know what the straw that breaks the camel's back will be until the camel's back breaks. I think that's just going to be the reality of that situation. But the fact that the government can't win against its own people, I think it's pretty well done and over with in that regard. The globalists, especially Trump and his buddies, I think they know definitively that they've got to do the right thing, that they have no choice anymore but to do the right thing or they're done. And it's not just, oh, your career is finished. It's no, you're probably going to wind up dead if you don't. Because whether it be a civil war or the opposing political side getting back into power or the people just having enough and going, nope, enough is enough. We're going to start, and the people just pick up their torches and pitchforks. One way or another, the bullshit ends.
Question. What if it's not a civil war against the government? What if it's a civil war against ideology?
Well, that's
Like
where we're at right
World
now.
War II. World War II. What was World War II? An ideology.
It was.
Nazism was an ideology. Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it is right now, is the idea. That's why all these people voted for Trump. That's why he won the populist vote and the electoral vote, because it was a war of ideologies. They understood that you can't just elect another globalist puppet and expect change. You have to have somebody, you have to have a wild card, so to speak. And they got a wild card. Unfortunately, he has a very hard time listening. And I'm just gonna post the picture, guys. I'm just gonna post the picture. We need to hold Trump's feet to the fire. And people have been holding Trump's feet to the fire. The Worldwide Resistance Network, InfoWars, MAGA, Joe Rogan, Tea Party, Anonymous, Americans across the board. And what does it mean to hold somebody's feet to the fire? It means exerting pressure or demanding accountability from someone to ensure they follow through on their commitments, meet deadlines, or improve their performance. It's about enforcing responsibility through insistence and sometimes intense scrutiny. Now, we're holding Trump's feet to the fire. As you see, we're all holding his feet to the fire, and he's just sitting there like a deer in the headlights. That's why I made the image look the way it did, because he just sits there like a deer in the fucking headlights at the goddamn time, like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on around him. But we got to continue to keep the pressure on and keep the pressure on and keep the pressure on. And I made that image not as a threat, but as an illustration as to what's going on. We're holding his feet to the fire, and he's sitting there completely dumbfounded, like he doesn't know what to fucking do. It's like we're telling him, dude, this is what you need to do. Jones gave him a fucking outlined plan of how to fucking pull this shit off. Everybody tells him every fucking day, get rid of Spam Bundy, get rid of Todd Blanche. Do this, do that.
It's his ego.
It's ego. It's narcissism.
Constant cycle. It's the same constant cycle. Here in 2.5, 3 years, we're going to be given a turd sandwich and a douchebag again and be forced to decide between them.
Yeah.
And then 4 years after that, we're going to be given the same option until there is legitimately a way to stop the revolving door of power from continuously being unavailable and making all of us more or less pay to exist. This is where we are. And I mean pay as in pay currency. I mean pay as just pay attention. A lot of people don't know how to pay attention. And that's where a lot of us are. We're getting to the point where we're overly frustrated, where we have nobody to talk to about this. And every time we do decide to say something about this, we're either the bad guy because we're for or against Trump. Well, you know what? I'm against politics, all of it, all together. So you can't say I'm for or against Trump because I don't like it all. The whole system needs to go away.
You guys?
Yeah.
No, we can't quit.
You saying we should try again next year?
No. Tell you the truth, I'm never voting again. Like marriage, no matter who you choose, it turns out bad. Unless you're rich. They get everything they want. Well, fine. Let them have their birds and their air and even their presidents. We cared about beer, and they took it away from us. Yeah, sure, what do they care if a man who sells shoes or fixes cars or totes that barge or spears that duty in the park has to use his whole paycheck to buy one beer? What do they care? They're at their outdoor restaurants eating their little pizzas and drinking some fine wine in a no smoking section with their sexy, skinny second wives.
With all of our shit that we gave them.
It's in stock. No offense, Beck. One thing I know, we're never going to win through the system. Voting has never been the American way. We didn't get away from that pansy country England by voting. We did it by throwing their stinking tea in our American harbor.
And that's why they don't want these shows anymore.
Because Americans don't like tea. We like coffee. And Americans don't like wine. We like beer. Yeah. Ice cold. Ice cold, best in a bottle, but fine any way you can get it. Belch and burp and wake up in a pool of a beer. So let's show them how a beer man votes. Let's get blitzed and take it to the streets. Let's strike a blow anywhere they dine al fresco. Anywhere they eat brie cheese. And anywhere they wear their pants up high around their waist in the European way. The only thing that Americans understand is mindless Tom and Jerry cartoon-like violence. So let's go kick some elite butt. Give me beer or give me death. Or both. Let's pillage.
Yeah, there's going to be a point. There will definitely be a tipping point where a conversation like that is going to be had. And Conspiracy and on, he went fucking berserk, and he's all over social media. Go, oh, when are we going to have the revolution? Is it going to be in April? Is it going to be in July on Independence Day? If it pops off, it's going to pop off. Like these people, these militias and whatnot, they exist. And you can bet your ass that when the time comes, they're ready to go. And when the time comes, you're not even going to see it coming. It's just, boom, going to be there. It's like, oh, we're here. And at which point, I wonder how it's going to look like. You can look in the traditional sense of war, but I think in many regards, it's already started. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. You look back to just not that long ago, that Big Pharma CEO got capped right in the middle of the street. Who's to say that's not how it's going to play out in a lot of ways? That a disgruntled waiter or a disgruntled chef happens to see somebody like Bill Gates or Dr. Fauci or some corrupt politician entering the restaurant, and they slip a little bit of cyanide or fucking fentanyl in their meal. And then they're gone. Who's to say it wouldn't be even one of their own butlers or one of their own personal chefs that do it? Who's to say? And we've already got people running up to these corrupt elites, calling them out on camera and whatnot. We already had it happen once where somebody ran up with not a camera or a cell phone, but a gun and put it in somebody's face.
Wasn't that like the pharmacy guy, the leader of like an insurance company in New York?
Yeah,
or
it was
something?
a Big Pharma CEO. He was gunned down in the street. And, another corrupt elitist took his place naturally, but.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a 10 of diamonds or a 2 of clubs or something compared to what we're going up against. And I think you understand my terminology here because these CEOs of insurance companies or these CEOs, hell, even fucking Elon Musk, he might be the jack of spades, but we're not getting anywhere towards the queens, kings, or aces.
No.
Not even getting close to that. So, like you stated, the only way that it can be is from another individual influencing one of the housekeepers of the individual who's got billions of dollars and wipes his ass with $10 million in the morning.
Well, it's not even somebody influencing somebody on the inside. I mean, the people on the inside, these chefs, these waiters, these security personnel, they're men and women. They're your average citizens. And they're going to see their friends and their family and people they've known on the outside getting fucked. And they're just going to be like, you know what? I have the power. I'm in a position to do something. Just let me put a little cyanide in Mr. Gates' drink. Here you go, Mr. Gates.
All this modern times is slavery with extra steps. You have economy and currency between being told what to do all the damn time, no matter what the fuck.
Slavery never ended. Slavery never ended. It just became all-encompassing, and they traded out the chains for these. I forget who said it, but it was a very popular quote. What's the easiest way to imprison somebody? Put them in a prison cell with the bar so that they can see and touch, or put them in a prison cell where they can't see the bars but think they're free.
But here's the thing, though. These can work two ways. By some of this stuff, I'll tell you what. I'll be honest here. It blew up in their face.
Yeah. It did. Everything is a double-edged sword. Everything can be a double-edged sword.
In minds, we're going to imprison them with these phones. Dude.
Yeah, I even have a meme where a guy's in a jail cell and there's a piece of bread and the key to the jail cell, and the guy's reaching for the bread instead of the key to the jail cell.
Yeah. But like we were talking about with the cell phones, everything is a double-edged sword. Everything is a weapon, and a weapon can be used by either side. Like, if you had two enemies and one had a gun and the other wrestled the gun away from that person, they could just as easily use the gun as the latter person. It doesn't matter who has the gun. The weapon remains the same and remains a powerful instrument in the hands of whoever is using it.
There's a flaw. There's a flaw in everything, and I'm gonna say it again, twice. These, I mean, again, tech savvy motherfuckers. Now I mean, like, critical thinking, highly tech savvy bastards and shit. They could use these in so many ways. But basically, we're given a goddamn high-tech Swiss fucking army knife. Okay?
Pretty much, yeah.
RCA means a really crappy appliance.
Well, yeah. But the thing is, they have no idea that we could basically spy back.
Yeah. Anything is a weapon in the right hands.
But it has to be
always double-edged swords, no matter what kind.
Why do you think I always explain what we're getting from DARPA and those in power as their old toys? Example, the internet.
Yeah. And they thought they could control the flow of information, but now look at what's happened.
If
you think we'd have these files 25 years ago?
Oh, fuck yeah.
No. Do you honestly think that the Epstien files would have reached as many people as they did before the internet? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
This became their Achilles heel. They thought it was their trump card, pun intended. But it's quickly become their Achilles heel, and they're getting their asses handed to them now. I mean, the globalists, even Hillary Clinton herself, is admitting the globalist system has failed. Their agenda has failed.
Because
I mean, when you have these most powerful motherfuckers going, look, we lost.
I can agree. You know, Zero, you and I had a few converse, you know, about it. Like, man, dude. I mean, we talk for hours and hours and hours about this shit. Tim, man, you know, Tim, man. I mean, the thing is, the more we talk, the more people watch us and kind of think like, huh, maybe these three bastards know what to talk about.
Yeah,
of course we do.
Why do you think we do what we do? Because not a lot of people want to listen to Alex Jones or Joe Rogan or Andrew Tate. Now, a lot of people have that stigma. But when you got three average Joes just sitting here talking, you know, we're no different than anybody else.
No.
We don't have loads of fucking money. Okay. I converted a spare bedroom into a fucking studio. Okay, you're chilling out in your bedroom. Zero, I don't know where you are right now, but I'm sure you don't have a professional office studio in some fucking high rise
Hell
in
no,
New
I'm in a
York
bunk
City or
bed.
Los Angeles.
Hell no, I'm in a bunk bed.
Yeah, we're all just three average Americans
Three average dudes just chilling.
talking about the facts, just spitting facts
Exactly,
from
man.
critical thinking.
Yeah.
In the 1800s, they would have never thought to have a world war. Something happened at the end of the 1800s to turn over to the 1900s for some strange reason for everybody to start hating each other so much that they just wanted to blow each other away instead of figuring out what the problem was. Because I know there's been altercations throughout centuries, but it's gotten worse since the beginning of the 1900s. And I think it's because of the ability to have more leisure and the mechanical age, the industrial age is kind of what I'm putting on the table.
Yeah, the ability to reach an enemy a lot quicker and a lot faster is definitely an appealing trait to those who would want to conquer the world.
But
You know,
I'm stating
a
the
few hundred
difference
years ago, you had people like Attila the Hun or Napoleon Bonaparte who had at most wagons and horses. Now you've got naval ships, aircraft carriers, the ability of flight,
I'm talking
weaponized
about the
viruses.
difference between staying on your farm, so to speak, and managing your land, etc., so that you can survive, versus getting a machine or going to the store, which is another upgrade. Getting a machine to help you cultivate the land and take care of the land is another step so that you have more luxury. Going to the store means that, hey, guess what? I don't have to make my own food anymore. Just through the progression of technology, we come to what we are at now, and it's come that we have to trade currency to upgrade that for. And I'm stating that there has to be a way to do it without currency, because it's not our connectivity that is our downfall. I think it's I want my piece in exchange for what you want to take from me mentality.
Yeah.
There's people already buying up some land and parking an RV and doing that way.
Well, even that, you live in a rural area like I do. All I have to do is just pack a bag and fucking walk out my front door, and I can head right into the fucking woods and disappear, and nobody'd ever fucking find me.
Exactly. I mean,
it's
like
you can't do that in a big city.
No.
That's one of the big reasons why I moved out here. I could pick up my gun, I could throw a freaking military pack on my back, and walk out my front door and never be seen or heard from again.
I mean, it's like I've heard stories on here, and I'm like, or a guy got arrested for collecting rainwater for personal use, and the judge goes, "Are you stupid? You arrested a guy for having barrels of water he collected from the sky.
Yeah,
the government doesn't own the sky.
They like to think they do."
And the thing is, if the rain right now where I'm at home, it's raining, like windy, raining outside. Okay, if I wanted to, I could go get a barrel, cooked it, or I could collect rainwater for the year and shit. What are they gonna do about it? They may sue me, but why? It's personal. I ain't selling it.
It's because you're not buying it from us, so we're going to sue you.
That's a problem there.
Isn't that a monopoly? Oh, my bad.
Effectively, yes. I've been thinking about that myself. You have utility companies. It's like, oh, you have to have us as your utility company, or you just don't have power.
Just because they got billions of dollars, right? Look, What happened to life, liberty, and happiness, man?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Exactly. Yeah.
They took the founding fathers' words in every regard, twisted it, and manipulated it. That's why language evolves. That's why the English language in particular evolves, so they can convolute the original language, whether it be the Bible, whether it be the United States Constitution, whether it be anything that was published by the founding fathers to protect our sovereignty.
If you told the founding
language in order to manipulate it.
If you told the founding fathers that they can instantly verbally communicate between Philadelphia and Atlanta, do you think they'll believe you?
No.
Do you get what I'm trying to also have an understanding of the audience? It's like we live in a different time than it was 200 years ago, 300 years ago. We live in a time where we never knew the fact of going out there and taking your whole day just to find something for 5 people to eat and do that 4 times, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
We never had to live that life. We never had to. From the analogy that I get, we live better than kings did in the monarch days because it was only in the summer they was allowed to eat grapes. We can eat grapes in the dead of winter because we have a grocery store up the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite franchises, one of my favorite gaming franchises is Assassin's Creed. Okay. One of the games I play now and then is Assassin's Creed 3. It takes place during the Revolution. Okay.
All right.
And you could create a community. Where you see someone's life in trade, they can say, as in create an inn, a church, a mill, a farm, all shit. And it's like, let's do that. Go to that.
Yeah.
Find a place, some place, create a community where help each other,
Absolutely.
But the reason they'll be hard or difficult because
they want you dependent on the system.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to get away from. Because we need to get away from dependency on the system. And let's not mince words. Trump has done a good job in pushing back in that regard, protecting private property rights, making it so that BlackRock and Vanguard can't buy up private properties. And, kind of restoring the power to the people in that regard. Kennedy trying to get the fluoride out of the water. There is some good things that are happening with the Trump administration. And in Europe, you're getting a very populist party coming up. My boss showed me this last night. Europe has this new promotional thing coming out with this new party they're implementing that's pretty much MAGA European, the European version of MAGA.
Here's one thing. How about get rid of property tax?
Yeah, that's another thing that Trump has been trying to do, but he's been cock-blocked on it. He wanted to get away from taxes and move us back into tariffs. He wanted to completely eliminate taxes and completely eliminate the IRS and have the country completely running on tariffs. You can't just switch one off and turn on the other. It's a transitional thing naturally.
I'd like to also point out real quick that even you buying land in a country, you don't actually own that land because the country owns the land.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If it's a country by the people, for the people, and that's how they circumvented authority. They made corporations people and people and corporations interchangeable. That's why on all your legal documents, your name is capitalized because you're an incorporated commodity. Whereas if you say, I don't identify with this commodity, I identify as a sovereign citizen, that's where they cannot prosecute you. That's where they cannot control you.
No.
And that's what we need to get back to is our sovereignty And these are issues.
But there's a slice in that whenever you do. There's a slice in that whenever you actually do anything in public commerce, you are the capitalized version of your name. Whenever you're not doing anything, like legitimately sitting in your house, like you can't even be eating, bro. You can't even be using the bathroom. Whenever you're not using public commerce, because everything is connected to the public commerce anyway, you legitimately have to not be using electricity on top of it in order to embrace your sovereignty.
Yeah,
there's
and there are ways we can get away from that.
There's a place in Marin County up near the Bay Area where there's a section in Marin County where people are living in houseboats. Houseboats. That's been one of my dreams, is living on a houseboat and as well get away from the system that way.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to get away from the system, and we need, as people, it can't just be on Trump. I know a lot of people are pissed off at Trump. They want all this from Trump. I get it. But what we need to do as American citizens is we need to figure out our power and start doing little things to push back on the system, not just on Trump, but push back on the system and take our power away from the system and make ourselves independent of that system.
And I think
we don't want this system. It's going to go away, even if we have to just leave it entirely.
And a very non-violent way of doing that, but very difficult to correspond. And I'm not talking just do this for a day. Pick a specific widely used item, example in the grocery store. American people, this is just hypothetical. American people, we're going to stop buying milk. We're going to stop buying milk until they decide to change X, or we're not going to buy any more bacon products until they decide to do L.
Yeah. Or we're going to stop paying taxes until the government
arrests us all for not making sure that the infrastructure is constantly paid for.
Well, they're not going to be able to fucking arrest everybody because if the infrastructure collapsed due to lack of payment, who are they going to fucking pay to make the arrests? What judge is going to work for free? What prosecutor is going to work for free?
Unless you do
is it the company's choice to not pay you the gross number on your paycheck, or is that forced by something that you're not allowed to obtain gross number?
You have to fill out a W-4, and when you fill that out, that determines how much taxes you're getting taken out. And then your company takes out the appropriate amount of taxes that goes to the IRS, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a dividend back at the end of the year if you paid enough into your taxes. And if you have a spouse, if you're married and you have children, you get more back.
So if we don't pay, we just don't receive that dividend once a year. But no, I don't think people want to trade that off.
You have to pay that in. So
that's what I'm saying. If you don't pay your taxes,
and your employer takes $100 out of your check every week for taxes, if you opt out on your W-4 and you don't pay any taxes, you're going to have to pay that at the end of the year. You're going to have to pay $5,200 because they take $100 out every week. There's 52 weeks in a year. You're going to have to pay the government $5,200, $5,200.
But you see what I'm putting on the table. If none of us did that anymore, the only thing we'd have to do is not receive the dividend once a year, because that's basically what they're recycling, the amount that they've taken out through taxes. Instead of you obtaining the gross number, you're getting your cleared number.
Yeah,
and now
if every American refused to pay taxes, nothing would be going into the system. There'd be no police force. There'd be no judges. There'd be no lawyers to prosecute. So what could the government really
so
fucking
basically
do
the
to every
government is
American?
legally laundering our tax money that we pay on wages.
Yes, that goes without saying, and that is one way that people can choose to really fuck the system. It's just stop paying taxes.
There's this question been going around for years because the thing is, they say there's a book about taxes. Like, where's the book? But what is it? What law is there to say that you got to pay taxes? There's no.
There
law.
isn't technically.
None.
You have the 16th Amendment, and you have tax laws, but there's nothing actually on the books that says by law you have to pay taxes. It's fine print bullshit, is what it is. And I'm not going to get into the dynamics of tax law because tax law is overly convoluted, and that's provided tax law is consistent, which it is not. It changes every fucking year. It is fucking retarded.
Exactly.
I could not even begin to attempt to explain tax law. A tax expert would have a hard time sitting here explaining.
Let's try to round it back. So basically, without losing the infrastructure that we've gained, basically the ability to talk from Philadelphia to Atlanta instantaneously, getting to here without an economy or a currency, so to speak, where everybody wants their piece, everybody wants their cut. How will that even be able to be? Well, I guess everybody will have to be supportive and start getting along then, won't they, Tin Man?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to get away from these systems, I mean, humanity survived without these systems before. It'd be a hard adjustment, but human beings can do it. And yeah, it would be a hard adjustment. Many people would probably die because of their lack of knowledge on how to grow food, how to hunt, how to preserve food, and things like that. Okay, there's going to be some people who fall by the wayside, but humanity in the long run could survive. It's not going to be without its more fair share of casualties, but it can be done.
Tin Man, Batman has something that he's chomping at the bit that he wants to say. Do y'all remember Batman?
I do remember Batman. What's up, Batman?
Yeah, as far as going back to that agricultural shit, it's like they do everything to cockblock that shit. Like, no, you can't even grow your own goddamn fucking little tomato plant in your own fucking yard in a certain ass fucking jurisdiction.
Grandmaster was talking about that earlier about a guy collecting rainwater and he got sued about it.
Yeah, it's like it's not that people don't know how to do this shit. Yeah, there's a lot of dumbasses. There's a lot of, we have 37 nose rings and our hair is 3 fucking colors, but we can't wipe our own ass. There's a lot of that. But
yeah,
the motherfuckers that know how to do this shit are fucking cockblocked from doing their own fucking shit. That it's like they're trying to block due diligence. These motherfuckers at their own like core essence hate that rugged entrepreneur individuality type, survivalism shit.
Yeah.
Like if they found out they had a doomsday private pantry, they'd probably confiscate it.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is, who's going to enforce the system if you stop feeding the system? Who's going to enforce these laws if you stop paying taxes? Who's going to make the arrests? Who's going to be the oversight judge? Who's going to be the prosecution? None of these assholes are going to work for free.
To be the system.
Well, it's like the system is like almost like a dual hybrid system where you have like this whole legitimate side of the system and you have this other fucking parasite kind of bedbug shit attaching to it, sucking all the life out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny what happens when you start cutting off all that fucking blood to the bedbugs. They start getting pissed the fuck off.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're finding a lot of this fucking shit that's fucking us over can't function without parasitism, whatever that word is. Case in point, Trump goes to fucking UN. Oh, the escalator don't work. Oh, that's an accident. Okay, well now you lost your funding. Oh, now our pussy hurts. We have no money. Oh well, that's your stupidity.
Yeah, you take the money out of the equation, people are going to start hurting, and they can't. George Soros can't pay his rioters if people aren't paying taxes that he could launder money through.
But you got this new guy like Soros is he's like basically Biden now. He's kind of like in a corner jacking off somewhere, but he can't even get
but his son took up the mantle and is 10 times worse.
Singham or whatever. That's the new guy now, because Soros's son is incompetent because all the globalist lineage is like so inbred that they became retarded and they're just entitled to the money, but they can't run more than 2 or 3 generations from the original progenitor until they become so retarded that they can't handle the money, and they certainly can't outsmart Trump or Vance or even like Charlie Kirk or somebody like with that type of mindset.
Yeah. And again, there's a lot of variables at play in terms of circumventing the system and what you can do to circumvent the system and avoid any repercussions. Or well, there's a will, there's a way, is what I'm saying.
Hey, Z, tell them about the $800 of cheese I have.
This man has a mini fridge that's full of cheese. We got Colby Jack cheese. We got medium cheese. We got mild cheese. We got.
Did you know there's a cheese that has cracked black pepper in it? Well, I know now.
I was about to say there we have white black pepper cheddar cheese.
Because fucking retarded Target's like, oh my god, the temperature of the dairy case got to 41 degrees for 5 seconds. Let's throw everything.
So what is it? The Canadians sharpening up their ice skates, getting ready to come down and invade the U.S. They're just going to raid your refrigerator.
Yeah, but I'm a professional dumpster diver amongst other jack of all trades type expertise levels.
Hey man, free is free. If free is free and it's not bad free is free.
Yeah.
Like it would take me 10, 15 minutes to get all this cheese and put it in bags and show y'all how much shit it is. It would fill up half of his fucking area.
Now I'm getting hungry. I got a fucking pizza. I'm gonna fucking throw in the oven in a little bit here. But what I'm initially getting out there's a lot of ways that the people can push back and fight back. It doesn't necessarily require a violent revolution, and holding Trump's feet to the fire, as the saying goes, is an element to that. But whether it's going to reach levels that require or would provoke a violent revolution and cause people to bust out their torches and pitchforks, I don't know what that catalyst would be. I don't even know. I couldn't even begin to tell you how far we are or aren't from that line. But I think at this point,
Batman has an answer to straw breaking the camel's back, if you don't mind, Tin Man.
So the problem is,
you got a thought? Go for it.
Yeah, they're riling up like these people that actually aren't really necessarily bad people, but it's like they're too busy to research the shit, so they're brainwashed by default because they don't have 5 seconds to fucking figure out how not to be brainwashed. Now that does affect the lower IQ quotient range. But the other thing is, it's like, it's an echo chamber. All they hear all day is brainwashing, and they got to go to college to get an underwater basketball degree, and then they go apply to a job, and the guy at whatever fast food establishment is like, that's fascinating. Here, flip these burgers for $5 an hour.
Yeah,
maybe I'm being facetious, but what I'm saying is, it's like they were fed a whole ration of shit, so then they think the whole entire system's corrupt, but they don't realize that the force-fed college, all that bullshit was the actual problem. They rage against the whole entire machine, not realizing they're raging for the machine.
Yeah. Just like fucking... What the fuck is his name? Zero, you know who I'm talking about, that rap artist that we quote all the time. Fucking... Why does his name elude me? I was literally listening to it an hour ago.
Prodigy?
No.
What's the other one?
But that's like,
he wrote White Boy.
Oh, Tom McDonald.
Yes, thank you, Tom McDonald. Why the fuck his name eluded me? Like Tom McDonald says in a lot of his songs. Fuck, what was I going to say? What were we talking about? I spent so much time trying to remember his name. I forgot what I was going to quote. Fuck! My brain died. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, Batman said something along the lines of Tom McDonald and Prodigy is all the homework anybody needs to understand what is going on right now.
Yeah,
and Prodigy died over it and didn't give a fuck because he's like, I'm going to die anyway because of a terminal disease. I might as well fucking bounce off the walls before I fucking get killed.
Right.
And so, have you actually sent those videos to Tin Man and all them, like about what Prodigy did?
they've seen what
Yeah.
I've sent them.
I would say a real good song. It was a posthumous song. It was after they already killed him. Like he came back from the grave, and like one of his verses was like I'm giving the UN army a run for their money. Like, dude, like these guy's dead, and he's fighting these motherfuckers harder than motherfuckers are like that are alive.
Yeah. Well, I don't doubt that there's going to be a shift. I mean, the fact that we're even talking about it is fucking huge. The fact that Americans are talking about the prospect of a violent revolution and government overthrow is very scary to think that we are that close to 1776 Part 2. And we have always advocated for a peaceful renaissance and, the Great Awakening, as people like Jones like to say. But we cannot deny the reality that there is a breaking point, and that breaking point can inevitably be crossed. And at which point we again have to wonder, what is the straw that breaks the camel's back, and what's it going to look like once that line is crossed? And, we've explored that a little bit today. I mean, there's only so far we can go in terms of speculation, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. And it's a conversation that really, really needs to keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and put the turkey in the oven while Revan eats his cheese. And Zero, thank you for popping on and sharing your thoughts. You too, Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we can really add to this. So
I got one very, very quick thing to close with.
Close it.
We were talking years ago to a guy called Tyler Baggins, who was the guy that backflipped and hit his own head, and then it like woke him up, and he like changed back from being brainwashed to actually being on our side. And it's like, maybe you got to get hit in the head. I don't know what the catalyst is, but it's like the possibility to reform the zombies into actual living beings is real.
Well, I think the fact that we've seen such an awakening that we have is evidence of that as well.
So I say don't drop the ball while we're running towards the goal. That's all I say.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in hindsight, I would just say, at this point, just remain mindful. Continue to hold Trump's feet to the fire. Continue to hold our congressmen and our senators and all of our elected officials accountable for their actions, and let them know that we're not going to tolerate their bullshit anymore, and try to keep it as peaceful as we can. But if it crosses that line, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
One very brief thing. Am I on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't go ape shit on an individual, whether Trump or anybody else, just because they made one minor fuck up, just because they didn't scratch their nuts the exact right way one day. Like, don't go ape. That's what the left does. Don't ape shit over every little fucking thing. As long as they're not fucking up the major shit, back off them and concentrate on the real actual threat.
Yeah, whether it's a peaceful renaissance or a violent revolution, use this. Exercise logic and discretion. Don't act in haste. And on that note, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Revan, Zero, Batman. And until next time, on behalf of everyone, I'm Chris Sheldon, a.k.a. the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, by all means, be sure to share the live feeds, retransmissions, follow us on X, YouTube, Rumble, all that fun shit. Check out our online store. And until next time, which will be this Wednesday when we return to our regular scheduled time with Tin Man TV. Until then, thank you, everyone. And for everybody watching, if you're watching this, you are the resistance. Stay strong, be safe, and God bless.